Well, who do you know who didn't die to Chaos Zero on their first go? Let's be honest here.
Well, once I got past the age of about 6, I learned how to fight him.
Well. Let's talk about Classic Sonic, shall we, Flame?
Classic Sonic is certainly a thing in this game. He's loosely, and I stress very loosely, taking on a combination of his Generations approach, but with the drop dash from Mania, which Tom is going to show off here. Thank you.
Yep.
But Tom, yeah, thing's fucked.
No, that's fine. It's okay. It says there's not enough disk space, but it's still recording. Don't ask me why, it just does that so often. Man, Flame, you sound terrified there, mate.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to have to redo a load of shit.
Yeah, especially a classic Sonic stage, but you were saying about the drop dash and whatnot.
Yeah, that's kind of the mechanic from Mania, as you saw earlier on in the year, and I kind of like the fact that that's there, but classic Sonic's physics are fucked.
Yeah.
There's no nice way to put this. Even more so than Generations, and Classic Sonic did not control like Classic Sonic in Generations. His jump was quite gimped, and he's just kind of still fun to play, don't get me wrong, but he's had some issues in Gens. But here, it feels like his jump doesn't go properly. It feels like it's almost in a way like he's got Knuckles' jump, in that he doesn't go quite as high as it feels like he should. And that combined with some really sloppy momentum, it's kind of, it doesn't feel like Classic Sonic should. And when you bear that in mind with the almost colours blocky level design, it makes it a much less smooth experience than Classic Sonic traditionally has been. Yeah,
Classic Sonic is easily the worst part of the game. I'm sorry. He handled better in Generations. We just had Mania. I know the two were developed in tandem with different teams and whatnot, and I'm not going to go down the route of Christian Whitehead and his group who are fans, and fans can make a better Classic Sonic and whatnot, but I feel there should be... Classic Sonic doesn't even need to be in the game. I'm just going to say that now. Yes. He has little to no effect on the story. He was here because Azuka thinks that's how you need to pander to Classic fans. And, I got my fill of him in Mania. I'm not one of those, Green Hill again, 0 out of 10 kind of guys.
I am.
Yeah, Flame is, but even I'm kind of getting sick of the fat fucker at this point.
Also, the thing is, I'm probably gonna be the odd one out here, because, I don't mind Classic being here in principle.
Yes.
I just wish he was done better. And that's because, I think that the idea of, bringing Classic in as, the extra hero, and they're leading in from Mania in terms of the plot and that, that's not a bad idea. I just kind of wish if they're going to have Classic Sonic, I would have actual Classic Sonic gameplay, not this watered-down, gimped Classic Sonic gameplay.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think they could have given him a greater role in the story if they were going to have him here at all. But yeah, if they were going to have him in, he should have been polished to fuck, I think. I don't know. Maybe next time. Because they're going to bring him back.
Oh yeah,
well, of course they are.
I pretty much say in the same ballpark there of at present. There is literally no reason for Classic Sonic, and he's got the worst levels in the game, so give him the boot. But if you're actually going to have him here, make him have a purpose. Make his levels actually good and more than just... I think there's 4 Classic Sonic stages that you have to play.
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, and they get progressively worse as you go down the line. And yeah, there's just no need.
He also gets the weakest music for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm going out on a limb here and say the sound font they use for the majority of the classic songs is just horrible.
Oh my god.
To the point where I would honestly take the Sonic 4 sound font over it.
Vector, what the hell is wrong with you? Your mouth.
Yeah, his bottom of his jaw just hangs. Oh, there's the line.
None of this is good, Vector. That's why it's called war.
He looks so sad.
That's one of those things, as I said earlier, it mostly goes for, complete straight-laced tone, but then you get bizarre lines like, Sonic has been tortured for several months. No, this is good, Vector. That's why they call it war. And then down the line, Knuckles is like, let's get ready to kick major butt. And it's a bit tonally dissonant from the rest of the game.
Yeah.
A little bit. I think you could... Oh, for fuck's sake, that's Avatar there. But I think that, the you could defend that in a way in that these characters that we've known as the sort of happy-go-lucky, like trying to like get through their day with their like whip lines and all that, are just thrown into this war situation, and there's going to be a natural contrast. But still, when you're talking about war in this series where you got your furry little cartoony characters, it's always going to be a bit of a like distance in time. It's so silly.
I know. I did want to kind of make him distinguished to retake the rooster, but well, we can go with a bit of silliness for now. In case you can hear it under us blabbering and whatnot, yes, the custom hero, or the OC, does have vocal tracks for his levels. They are mostly good. I actually think they may be my favourite of the 3 types of music in the game. Classic Sonic, he gets the usual kind of butt rock and whatnot. The OC gets vocal themes, and Classic gets, classic style tracks done by Tomio Otani, who handled the rest of the soundtrack. No Crush 4 here, I think, apart from like one cameo track in a cutscene.
Well, yeah, but like, to me, the Avatar songs, they grew on me. Like, I remember when like all the footage was coming out, and it was taking me a little while to adapt to it, because it's like a lot of the instrumentation is quite similar to each other, the generic techno-y electronica sort of thing. Yeah. But I suppose after some of the songs grew on me over time, I got used to it, and there's some that I actually ended up really liking, which I'll bring up when you get to the respective levels for them. Okay.
Do you like colours? I like colours. Shut up, I'm playing a game live. I can be incompetent if I want to be. See, look at that. 1 minute, 45 seconds.
Yeah, the levels are just ludicrously short, and what I think I would have preferred to take place is have less levels that were actually longer, because then, they could have perhaps polished them a bit more, made them more interesting, because as it is, so many of these levels actually aren't memorable and just have maybe a couple of set pieces throughout, and you're just like, right, I would have liked, just as it's getting good, you're kind of just taken out of it. It's basically the Super Mario 64 issue of as soon as you get a star, you're kicked out of the level. But at least with the stars in Super Mario 64, you've succeeded in your goal, and therefore it's not a problem. And here's Sonic, looking perfectly well, considering he's been tortured for months.
Yeah, he looks pretty good for a POW.
Yeah. Although we are coming up to the worst part of the game, so...
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Would you say that the bosses are the worst part of the game, Flame?
I don't know about the bosses as a whole, but this boss is fucking awful.
Oh, yeah.
I disagree entirely. I thought this was perfectly fine for the first boss.
No. I can't agree.
See, the boss concept in itself, like, it drags on a little bit, but, like, it's fine. The problem here is the way that Modern controls... to me, because like he has this problem where this is a sort of circular boss. There's going to be things going around this arena, and Sonic can't like readjust his position in midair like he can in some games, and that means that whenever you've got a homing attack on the enemies that are around or whatever, it's really fiddly. And also shout out to the issue that didn't get fixed in the PC version, where that floor texture just randomly flicks in and out sometimes, and it gets really fucking distracting. But yeah, the one thing you want to do here is, although you might instinctively jump when you see him coming down, that just wastes time. You want to be on the floor and let it fling you up.
You want to be on the floor? Oh, you're a punster, Flame.
Okay, that was all on you.
Okay, another hidden pun, by the way. Look at the floor.
Yes.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yep, hexes, I think. Is that a hexagon?
Yes, it is, Tom. Can you not count to 6?
No, I can't.
We have an issue here. But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing over and over. He will get a phase where he sort of rams across towards you a little bit, but he's fairly easy to dodge. Thanks for demonstrating how easy it is to dodge, Tom.
No worries.
I have to say, the one thing that I found quite frustrating about this boss is that you can very easily accidentally run off the edge. and because of obviously Sonic having slightly weird momentum, you can be sort of walking and then suddenly all of a sudden go, oh, no, there we go, off the edge. I've now got to redo the entire boss fight. Thank you very much, game.
Well, it's super easy. He controls actually surprisingly well in like a 3D space walking speed-wise. I was pleasantly surprised. I was genuinely impressed.
No, this, like, his control here, it feels more akin to Lost World in a way, but without the, like, manual speed adaptation.
Order!
And I'm not a fan.
How could I lose to the likes of you again?
Again, it's canon. Lost World is canon.
Also, can I just say, I like how the game just decides to halt on that image for what seems like a ludicrous amount of time. It's just like, mate, just cut to the result screen. Just shut up.
No, you need to see the other POWs in the background who will not be rescued here, and kind of raises a lot of questions later on when a certain orbiting space station explodes.
Yeah.
Oh, these can get a little bit silly when you're spending a considerable amount of time just mashing through. Like, I get it. Why can they not show all the unlocks just on one screen together? Like, this is such a time waste. Like, I think I got one the other day where I was here for like 45 seconds. Yeah, that's like half the level.
How much did you unlock there? Because I've only been here for like 20 seconds max.
I think it was one of them ones where it was coincidentally one of them daily challenge things, and I got an S rank, and it was my first time through the level on that particular save file.
Yeah.
So it just threw so much shit at me.
Yeah. And also there are missions that you get which are user boasts in a Sonic level, etc. So you can actually stack up those missions quite a lot.
Interesting. One of the best levels in the game coming up now, Stage 6, Egg Gate. Like, unless I otherwise state it, I pretty much enjoy every level in the game at a base level. You know, some are better than others, some are worse than others, but it's perfectly serviceable, its forces. The level design was done by, like, 2 people with a lead designer, and I think the 2 new guys hadn't even done any level design before, which is a bit distressing, but what are you gonna do?
It is quite telling. Like, I will say this particular level is the one that sort of sparked my enthusiasm a little bit when I first saw it, because as with Mania, this entire game was leaked ahead of time, because of course it was, and like, I remember being not overly sold, but like, then I remember seeing this and thinking, this is like legit cool. There's some really cool set pieces in this. And although it is a very short level that again suffers from being over just as you're getting in the groove of it, there's enough here for it to kind of think, you know what, this was fun.
I had fun. I'm still living. I can feel my heart beating.
Sonic gives me the reminder occasionally that I am indeed alive.
Yeah, same. What do you think of Egg Gate, Rich?
Yeah, it is really actually quite fun. The really annoying thing with Forces is that there are elements of it which are really good and really promising. Like, at the heart of it here, there is a decent game somewhere tucked away in here. It's just kind of trapped in an overall sheen of mediocrity, I feel. Like, Forces isn't, I would say, actively bad. Like, I would say that Sonic Lost World had a lot of bullshit in it, and it was infuriating. Forces, while certainly nowhere near perfect and certainly nowhere near being classified as good, is not bad. It doesn't have that amount of bullshit outside of level 28, I want to say.
Yeah, it's more baffling than anything, because, I don't know, like the short stages combined with some less than admirable level design, etc., etc. It more confuses me than outright angers me. I don't know if I'd call it a bad game, but I won't call it a great game either, so I don't really get the people calling this, like, 062, but I also really don't get people that we've already mentioned equating it to being better than Generations outside of some pretty neat alternate routes in certain levels.
To be fair, I can kind of see why someone might take more of a liking to the overall tone of this than say Generations, because like I will say I love Generations. Like it kind of its problems become more apparent on repeated playthroughs, but on the whole, it is a really solid game. But I think the problem Generation suffers from nowadays is that the whole presentation outside of the levels is a bit sterile, whereas there's more character to it, and I can see why that might leave more of, like, a more memorable impression to people than Generations did.
That was the fashion police, by the way. We were about to be put to death for our crimes.
I think probably the thing with that is that Generations' story on the whole is really forgettable, whereas while Forces is not necessarily brilliant, it's got an interesting bent in terms of the Sonic franchise going for it, and so it does end up being more memorable and more engaging than Generations ever was in that respect. It's just that Generations was by far the better game, and therefore, you know, I'd rather replay Generations than I would replay Forces.
We escaped. That was it.
The load screen implies safety.
Yeah, he was trapped for months, being tortured, and we went to save him, and then he saved himself, because Sonic don't need no man saving him, clearly.
That's true. All Buddy did was basically charter a ship.
Basically.
I will say, like, I get why a lot of these cutscenes are just text boxes, but this is one I think should have been, like, an actual cutscene, like the reunion scene.
Yeah.
Because, like, you got these characters reuniting with their old friend who they thought, like, was dead, and up to recently they'd heard he'd been tortured, and you can't think you would have, like, more of a celebration than just a bit of chatter. Oh, we've got this new mission coming.
Nice to have Charmy back, I guess.
Question: why did we get Charmy the bee and not Blaze the cat when Blaze the cat is clearly the better character?
That's another one of the baffling decisions, along with Silver being here for some reason. I like Silver. I think Quentin Flynn does a good job voicing him. I don't know why he's here.
Well, Silver makes no sense being here because he's meant to be in, you know, the fucked up future that no longer exists. But Blaze, I understand Blaze not being here because Blaze technically isn't from this realm. Blaze is from the Soul Dimension, and so when you've got this story where it's all taking place within Sonic's world with a bit of crossover from, like, Classic's world, there's kind of no smooth place for Blaze to show up. So if they brought her in, it would be just as arsepool as Silver.
I guess. Oh yeah.
This looks fabulous.
It does, mate. Don't be mad just because you've got to change your footwear. Oh, that'll come in handy in getting S ranks, by the way. My favourite one of those pop-ups is change your body parts. Alright, now we move on to... I did tell a bit of a lie earlier. There's a fourth gameplay style that's just like the first two mashed together. I really wish there was more of these levels. I don't think they nearly scratched the surface of what the tag team or co-op stages can do.
Yeah, because I mean, basically it's bringing the Heroes style gameplay in a way into the more modern Sonic style gameplay, and it is actually quite fun, to be honest. And also,
whoa, okay.
Bloody hell.
I didn't mean to do that.
Yes, you did it. Clearly, the shock of getting that trophy just blew your mind.
Oh, I'm a warrior. You can't deny.
That's why I have notifications off.
It's fine. Oh, here we go, the hypest moment of the game.
Yes.
Fuck yes.
Cue fist bump. Together we can show the world what we can do, etc.
Shout out to what has quickly become my favourite Sonic main theme. I fucking love Fist Bump. It's like one of the best songs.
It's up there with Live and Learn for me.
I wouldn't
Richie,
say it's my
if you
fave.
disagree...
Well, it's not that I don't like Fist Bump. I do actually really quite enjoy it. It's fun. But I wouldn't say it's up there with my favourite Sonic main themes, because, like, I'm mostly the fondest of Endless Possibilities and probably Night of the Wind. Those are probably my two main themes that I'm the fondest of. But that's probably because of the games that they're linked to. In terms of vocal themes, you're more looking at, like, Live Life from Black Knight and
beautiful.
So on and so forth.
Yeah, Live Life is still, like, my favourite song ever of anything. But like, if we're talking in terms of like the main songs that are meant to get you pumped up for the game, like Fist Bump is perfect.
Oh, it is good for that, yeah, definitely.
Although you were saying about this being the hypest moment in the game, I will say there's one of these that I think overshadows it just by a bit, and you can probably tell which one, but we'll get to him later on.
Oh, yeah, I remember completely. Got a bit stuck there, it's fine. I wanted to take the top route, but apparently I'm not baller enough for that, it's fine.
One of the things that actually I noticed, it was in this very level, there's odd moments where your momentum, like, you suddenly shoot forward for no good reason, and it caused actually quite a few deaths for me in this particular level, because there's the bit where you're meant to grapple on one of the ball things that you grapple on, and I didn't actually quite see it, and the game just sort of kept running me off the edge of the cliff, and it was just like, wait, what? Because the problem with that is that sometimes the game auto grapples you, and other times it doesn't, and it's not necessarily clear as to when that is going to take place.
I don't
it's slightly
know.
frustrating.
I think that's just you. I think you have a vendetta against Sonic, and you might actually work for IGN, etc., blah blah blah.
It's a conspiracy.
You know what the hilarious thing is? IGN actually gave Sonic Forces a relatively fair review, which is
They
like...
gave it a 6.9.
Nice.
Yeah, but to be fair, in terms of scoring Sonic Forces, that is probably about right. I would say it's more a 6 out of 10 than anything. But 6.9 for IGN, who have a long history of pretty anti-Sonic game reviews, that's actually really fair for this title, and a lot of their criticisms are entirely accurate, which did shock me quite a bit that occurred, and I like how I'm saying shocked when we are currently equipping a slightly more powerful lightning wisp bomb. But there we go.
That's how we roll, mate. Alright, what have we got here? Woo!
That's going to keep him nice and warm in the winter.
It's cool, because I can just combine it with that, and now I'm dirty and naked.
Well, basically, the paint splatter is to basically say that Ntom60 Core has managed to worm his way into Splatoon.
What the fuck is that thing?
Oh, shit, yeah, I'm going with that. With Punk for now.
Like, actually, this like character creator thing where you can adjust it, this is like just the avatar's character progression, and this is like his edgy teen face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are almost a third of the way through the game, so no, I'm not kidding, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
There's 30 stages, and those stages include boss fights.
Yeah, and they're all about a minute to 2 minutes long. Like, I think the longest stages are the last 3.
Uh-huh.
And like the last boss takes maybe about, I think my run of it took about 8 minutes in total, but I did keep dying because I sucked really badly on it.
Well, at least you can admit that, Rich.
Yes.
Whereas I'm flawless at everything, and if I have trouble, then it's someone else's fault.
Yep,
But
exactly.
You are on the only actual bit of level in this level. Like, everything else in this is like, this is how people who don't like Sonic describe Bond Sonic. This level, really, and it's hold X to win. Or...
Oh yeah. A lot of people have trouble with this section for some reason.
How?
I've
you
seen.
hold one button and win.
I've seen multiple people go flying off. I think they may have patched stuff like that, but yeah, just don't go wild with your stick movements, and you should be fine. I think it's just because they try to overcompensate when they start to like veer left and right. Don't do that. If you've ever played a 3D Sonic, you know, trying to fight the computer will not win.
Yeah, like, everything here that you need to keep you on track, you know, you just go forward, because like, that's a pretty scary jump, by the way, because it looks like you're gonna miss whenever it all makes you onto the rail. But like, there's speed boosters everywhere, so they always put you back on track if you get a little bit off to the side.
Did somebody ask for Vor?
Yes, and I'm glad you said that, and not me.
Well, you know, I like to shake up people's expectations.
I don't know, you've been getting more like me in recent times. How much of a surprise is it?
Blame yourself, I guess. I'm not going for complete perfects, by the way. There's not much finesse to that QTE system besides that. You can press it as soon as it appears on screen, you should be fine.
Yeah, because basically if you press it as soon as it appears, you get a good, and that's great, but that is basically all that happens, and you just be like, right.
So yeah,
Okay.
Mystic Jungle,
Also-
Luminous Forest, S rank. Mostly just boosted for it.
Yeah, basically. I have to say, you know what slightly terrified me about the QuickTime event at the end there is that I looked at it and my brain suddenly went, oh my god, Chronicles! Oh.
Okay, I think we've found our next hat to wear.
Fine.
Yes, we are wearing the gamer cap to prove that we are real #gamers.
Alright, let me find the gayest combination of clothes to go around with it.
Well, I think, considering, you have to make sure that you are colour coordinated, you need to make sure to wear those glasses, because those were beautifully yellow to match that beautiful yellow gamer hat.
Oh my god, Richie, shut up. Just shut up. Fine, alright, our transformation from punk to gamer begins. Such as was stated in the beginning of time, so it shall be.
Yes! Now, can we get the heart glasses and then bright silver sparkly boots?
You ask a lot from me.
I know, but you said you wanted this to be the gayest possible. We're fucking doing it.
This one?
On the right. No, the silver ones with the sparkly texture to them. Yes!
Let me just try. That's much more obnoxious, though.
Actually, deal.
No, you know what would be more obnoxious? The yellow Crocs.
When we unlock the Crocs, let's put the Crocs on.
They're literally in the footwear. Look, to
Oh,
the right.
oh yes!
Oh.
Yes! Do it!
Nice. Oh, I think we can go one step beyond here.
Yes!
Oh.
This is the most fucking ridiculous thing possible. I love it.
Oh, it's hideous.
I'll keep that on for the next level only. I'm not doing it for the whole game. I like my OC to be stylish, thank you very much.